episode of HR Unlock the podcast. I'm AJ.
I'm Abby.
Welcome to work. We're so happy that you came in today.
Yes.
Right? Aren't you happy with that?
Yeah, we are so happy.
We're
and
so
we're happy to be here. How you doing,
Great.
AJ? Alfred. I don't call him AJ.
But I prefer that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me
bad.
let me write a corrective action.
Demerit.
Demoted. But no, I'm good. I'm good. It's a good day.
Yeah, it's not too bad. The rain stopped a little bit today, right? We got a little bit of sun.
Yeah, it's good to be alive, you know.
Agreed. Take us to church.
Not today. You have to pay. You have to pay me. Close the doors. So let's
Let's get
get
started.
the meeting started.
Yeah, for sure. So I got a good situation for you.
Oh, you have one. Okay.
I don't know what you do.
Okay.
In my prior career,
Okay.
I had a situation where meeting was taking place
Okay.
amongst multiple people. Of
So-
course, it was on.
So much suspense.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Okay.
It was virtual, of course, so everybody connected.
Mhm.
And sometimes, you hear the dog barking in the background, you hear the baby crying, and you're like, oh, you know what? I totally understand it. And the person says, give me a moment. I get life stuff.
Right. Yeah.
This happened where a employee said good morning, introduced themselves to the meeting,
Okay.
and was then partaking in extracurricular activities with their spouse, forgetting that they were not on mute.
Oh my God.
So, what would you do? And I know we've seen that before, right? I think there's been hosts.
We see it on the internet.
Yes. I think there's been hosts like CNN or ABC where there's
Oh, yeah,
been a
CNN,
guy's,
yes.
done something strange or
CNN
been
guy.
doing some
That was weird.
things that weren't right. So I won't tell you what I did as an HR professional, but what would you do?
But wait, let's go back. I
Okay,
need more
yes.
context. How long did this go? How long was he off mute? Did somebody mute him? Did y'all realize
It started slow. Okay. Or we were just kind of like,
what is that?
and then it, progressed. And like I said, I won't tell you what I did. I did do something,
Oh.
but
Okay, so if I'm on the call, am I hosting this call? This call? Am I hosting this call or?
let's say it's amongst a management team where you are, part of that team. So let's say, lead engineer, plant manager,
Okay.
department leads.
So if I have the ability to mute the person, I would do that first, obviously. Or I would basically take the call. Let's end the call and then let's regroup.
Mm-hmm.
Then next you have to open up an investigation,
Well,
right?
and here's the thing. So I'll tell you what I did. My course of action was I was like, hi all, let's all end the call and then jump back on because it seems like somebody's having some technical difficulties.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely kind of aimed it in that direction because once I had the sense of what was happening, I was like, this needs to end immediately.
Yeah.
And so we got off the call and we came back on and he didn't come back on.
Yeah, because he was busy.
So after that though, it was kind of a tough situation because how can you as an HR professional really approach somebody and say that's what you were doing?
Right.
You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, they weren't on video. I didn't see anything. I just heard something that sounded like something.
Yep.
So from there, we had a conversation and I approached him. I said, hey, no, we need to be 100% professional when we're on calls. We need to give it our utmost attention. I understand that when we're working from home and we're not presently in the office, things can come up, people can walk in, but it's so, so important that we're being mindful of being connected and that everybody else can hear
Being
you
present in the
in the
yeah,
moment, and
in the meeting.
understanding too that like if you accidentally unmute or something happens, everyone can hear you. And this thankfully was just a call between our site,
Mhm.
but it could have been something where we were on a call with a chief director or a
Right.
C-suite executive of some sort. So
Mhm.
it was, in the moment I was terrified, but looking back, it's really funny.
I mean, so did this person admit to anything, or they were just like, did they? Well,
They apologized and they
did you
said,
ask him what the noise was, or what?
I didn't. I did not address it head on. I said that
What?
we heard some activity.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like it's something that was,
Work related.
yes. So
I think I would have. I would have asked. I would have. I would have
couldn't.
got
I
in,
couldn't.
like. So this is what it sounded like. Yeah,
Oh my God.
I love ER. So
I couldn't. So, and then this other thing too, it's like plausible deniability, JD. You know what I mean? So it's like they could say that it was some, I can't, to really, the investigation stops at their word.
and I would look at him like,
Well, I made it clear. I'm like, I think it's so important
"Don't play
that
with me,
we
Peter."
practice 100%,
Yeah.
professionalism, and we're present in all of our calls. And we make sure that if something is happening, pay attention to your phone, your laptop, and ensure that you are on mute. But also, like, why? Like, I don't get it. That's strange.
You couldn't wait.
I know. I've never, like, I can't. Okay, I just, yeah, I just can't imagine. I'm just so focused. I feel like me at work and me in that moment,
Yeah.
it
Like,
wouldn't
how do
be
you
hard.
even?
It's kind of like when, I know you've had this too, where you've caught somebody drinking on the job,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I can't mix the two. Like, it's not even in my mind. Like,
Okay, let's go
how do you
back.
mix the
Let's
two?
go. Let's go back.
Okay.
I mean, how can you even focus when people are talking about
Oh.
numbers and like, oh, this is turnover and that turn you on?
I know. Like, what is the deal?
What's the song?
What song?
Do my accent do it turn you on? Is that
I
a
think so.
lyric to a song?
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, what?
Yeah.
And you hear people talking about, oh yeah, we had this person called out, and
Mhm.
oh wow, that's woo, I am ready to go now.
Yeah. Well, then, like, also as a manager, like, we've had situations, even past and now, my current position, where employees have done things in our parking lot.
Yeah.
And we have to intervene and say, this is, disrespecting your place of work. This goes against our decency, our policies. So it's just like, if you understand that,
Yeah.
then you do that. What you did, it's kind of, I don't get it.
Wow.
But yeah, that's kind of a situation that
And
it's tricky.
yeah, and I think this segue into I'm changing it up a little bit.
Mhm.
It segues to what is your workplace brand? Because now you're known for the person who wasn't on mute doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, what is? I can't imagine going
Mhm.
into a meeting with these same people. That's
Embarrassment.
that's their
Yeah.
thought process.
For sure.
The
It's
minute
a
you
running joke.
go on mute, or you come off mute, now they're like,
Yeah. No,
right?
and echoing back to your brand, I feel like that your reputation at work matters so much.
Yeah.
Your reputation leads to your success.
Absolutely.
You have a reputation of providing quality work. You have a reputation of, being on time, being orderly, being responsive. Those things matter. So once you kind of muddle in something that can tarnish your reputation,
Absolutely.
I think it's really hard to recover from that, because people then expect, I don't want to say they expect, but they're looking for the same or similar behavioral patterns.
Yeah.
So,
and I would say, I'll ask you after I answer. I think my workplace brand is timeliness. I'm always on time.
Mhm.
Have great follow up. I'm committed to my task and what I say. I keep my word.
Right.
Um, and usually I'm on time to every meeting.
Right.
Like when there's a cutoff, I'll be like, all right, you know, we're at time. I'm going to be respectful for everyone's time.
Mhm.
I got to jump on another meeting. We'll follow back up, circle back, pick back up, whatever you got to do to the next, circle back to the
Whatever
next here.
lingo.
Yeah, right. All the lingos to get off.
Yeah.
Then I got to hop on to my next one. Um, so when I walk in, I'm very presentable, very nice, very kind,
Mm-hmm.
very understanding, but firm.
Right.
And I think your workplace brand matters, and with any setting from C suite down.
For sure.
Because when you walk in a room, when you come in, it's like, oh, there's AJ,
Mm-hmm.
there's Abby.
This is what they represent.
This is what they expect. Exactly.
And I think your brand has to match your position, right? I think
Absolutely.
as HR professionals, of course, I think we need to be warm. We need to lead with empathy, not 100% guiding every decision we make, but understanding that people come first, right?
Yep.
But at the same level, if you're looking at somebody who's in finance, they are very data driven. They're not leading with empathy. It is black and it's white.
Yeah.
So you have to really understand the position that you're in or the position you want to be in and create a brand that gears you to that direction.
Yep.
It leads you there. And I think that's where people kind of get a little bit too comfortable. They're not clear on what they represent, and they bring inconsistencies to the table, and it impedes in their ability to grow and be successful in an organization sometimes. Even if it's not anything negative, just even being just kind of like the jokester, right? You know what I mean? Like we all have like the person at work who's the jokester, but can you turn that off? Can you be serious?
Right.
Can you be reliable and provide key data points and analysis? You know what I mean? Like there has to be some duality to how you are in the workplace,
And also, you can't, on the flip side of that, you can't go into a meeting mean, disrespectful, cursing at your subordinates or people on the call because you're angry.
Right.
And you see that a lot in manufacturing and supply chain and logistics and all the things. You see a lot of that because that's the area we industry work in. You see a lot of that disrespect and anger with these leaders, even from C-suite down or VP down.
Right.
And it's like, why you act like that? Like yelling doesn't do anything for me. Like I can't hear you when you're yelling.
No.
Because it's not a good communication tactic. You're yelling or being disrespectful doesn't make me give you better results.
No.
Not me.
No.
Not me personally. I've never had a leader or a manager that disrespected me in a way. Did I? Well, once.
But I'm sure it made you kind of not want to engage.
Yeah, and I had a conversation. I had a conversation with them. But long story short, she brought me in a room and said, I don't think you should hang out with these group of people because they're not going to get you to the top.
That's interesting.
And they were our other side of the aisle counterparts. And I was hanging out with us. And I was just like, are you saying I can't hang out with black people?
Right.
That's
What's the real meaning?
I was very clear about that.
Yeah.
She's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. She got all red. But it was like, then what?
The intention was there. You can kind of, sometimes there's reading between the lines and understanding, again, like the microaggressions that exist in the workplace when someone is mentioning something that's so blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
And also, who I choose to conversate with is not a representation of my work ethic and my ability to succeed in an organization.
It doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
Like, it was just we connect because obvious reasons. There wasn't a lot of us either.
Yeah.
So when you find your people,
you have
that you connect with,
to bond with, and you guys are sharing a similar experience. Yep. So, I agree with you. Like I think the tone, and not even just yelling, the tone. Yep. I've had managers who they're not yelling at me, but they are expecting that I don't know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
or they're babying me and they're saying like, "Oh, and this is how you do this." And I appreciate training and somebody taking the time to explain how things are done. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if I've been in position for years and you're coming in and telling me something basic,
Yeah.
I don't want to always take it as you're undermining, but it
Mhm.
does come across as though you think I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather people just ask as well. Like, be forward, ask the questions that are there. Don't try to do these small little attacks and use your tone to say things when you could just ask me,
Exactly.
are you aware of this?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand what you understand in this organization.
Yeah.
So
And
tell me.
yeah, just say it, but say it in a
Mhm.
way that it's
Clear and
professional
concise.
and
Yeah, like
yeah,
if you're
effective.
right, if you're changing managers or something happens and they don't know you, do a competency evaluation.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. I'm like, I understand as a manager, you have to see where your team is.
Yeah.
Every single person on your team needs to have an assessment done on them so you understand where they are.
Mhm.
Say that. Hey, I'm coming into this new role. I'm completing a competency assessment on each and every single one of you. Just so you know, I may be asking you these questions. It's not because I don't feel like you understand or you may not have this knowledge, but we've never worked together before.
Yep.
So I need to know where you
Yeah.
you stand.
Yeah.
So just things like that, just being clear as opposed to using tone and the level of your voice to, I feel like, sometimes intimidate.
Yeah.
And then that can sometimes elicit a reaction from someone. And then now you're using that to brand them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Yep,
say, oh, this
exactly.
is who they are.
Yep.
And it's just, that's not the case.
Wow. Well, um, employees, this is what you should get out of this. Mute yourselves on the meeting.
Please,
Right.
please.
Please mute, because yeah, we don't need to hear
anything inappropriate.
Yeah.
Just keep the extracurriculars to out of hours of work,
Yeah.
please.
Or
Please.
when you're done, just make sure, tell them to get ready, and you're almost off the meeting. But yeah, don't do that. And then protect your employee brand. Protect your workplace. Wow, workplace. I mean, am I drunk?
Tongue twister.
Right, workplace brand.
Right.
Because people are watching you, especially HR professionals. People are watching your every single move. Literally, they're having conversations about you. They've made up these preconceived notions that you do this and that, and you're like this and you're like that, and you do one thing wrong, that's it for you.
Yeah, it becomes
They
your
hold you
descriptor. Yeah.
higher, which it's semi-fair, but we're also human.
Right.
But we have to be on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful with what you say, what you do, how you react to certain things, because people are watching you.
Yeah. And I mean, taking also, just to piggyback off that,
Yeah, please.
take into consideration the organization you are in, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure people who may work for marketing brands that are, very interested in, I don't know, pop culture and, art and things of that nature, the way that you can interact within that organization would be different than how you interact by being a federal employee, right?
Absolutely.
So understanding the place you work, the culture at which you work, understanding your manager, it's going to help.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, define your brand, make it an impactful one, make it one that people, when they think of you, they think of the positive and not negative connotations.
Or they'll say something like, "Oh, here he comes, here she comes."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or what do they do?
Right.
I love that one.
Right.
What
What's their job? Employees, thanks so much for being here.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for showing up for work today. I don't think anybody was tardy today. I mean, even this one, she was on time.
Yeah, early actually.
Abby, anything else?
No, I think we're all good. Thank you guys so much again. Until our next meeting.
Let's have a great week.